Yes, it's Friday again, and this is Don Candy TV. Welcome to our weekly news update. Yes, it's been a long time since we've been with you, but we are ready to bring you the weekly news update. Yes, and quickly let's go to the headlines of our story. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo is now in 14-day quarantine after one of his aides tested positive to COVID-19, though the president's test came out to be negative. And also we know what happened in Accra, at Accra Girls, when 6 students tested positive for COVID-19 and most parents trooped to the school to withdraw their wards or their kids from the school. Now let's go to the news itself, or let's enter into the main stories. And before we go to our main stories, this news is brought to you by Adetuka, Hills Hair Bonnet, Odofupa Radio, and Executor Radio. Here's our first story. The President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, has gone into 14-day quarantine or 14-day isolation after one of his aides tested positive to COVID-19. Yes, his close aides. So actually the name of the aide didn't come out. And the president has been active, and he went to other voter registration centers to see how registration was going on, when other people trooped to the street to cheer him. People even criticized that he knows that he is a public figure and people will cheer him when he goes out, so he shouldn't have done that. But one of his aides has tested positive and is now in 14-day quarantine. We also know that within the week, 6 students tested positive to COVID-19 in the Accra Girls Senior High School, and when the news came out, most parents went to the school premises to withdraw their kids or their children from school. We know second year Gold Track students and also final year students who are preparing to write their WASSCE examination, that is the West Africa Examination Council examination, are currently in school to prepare and get ready for their exams. Yes, most parents went there. It was almost a chaos situation, but the police came in to rescue or to solve the matter. And also in another school story, when we go to K University Senior High School, just one student had a stomach ache or problem in his stomach, and most of the teachers were there. It wasn't night, it wasn't deep or midnight, it was just daytime. Most teachers were there with their cars and everything, and no teacher, including the head of the institution, got closer to the boy, thinking that the boy had COVID-19. And even the Tech hospital is just about 10 minutes drive from the school. And he took the boy sat there with his friends, cried and couldn't breathe for almost 3 hours. He struggled with his stomach problem and he died instantly on the school premises. And in this case, the Minister of Education has interdicted the head of the senior high school, or the K University Senior High School, for investigations to go into the matter. And also with election stories, we know former President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has introduced Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman to the National Council, and they unanimously accepted her as his running mate. So now it's going to be the J&J ticket. John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. Yes, Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman has served in so many capacities as a Ghanaian, from being a teacher. She holds lots of credentials in the education sector. She was the first female vice chancellor of a public institution. The voter registration exercise going on in Ghana, and the former president, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, has gone to his polling station to register, to be registered and be a member or a part of the voters that will be voting in the 7th December polls. Yes, he went there to vote and also to show example as a leader. So yes, the former president has registered, and we entreat everybody to register. And also in other stories, a Nigerian by name Philip Emmanuel Philip has also been caught with a Ghanaian voters ID card. He has been registered with a new voters ID card and their flower board. One of our former presidents, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, yes, had an interview with Kwaku Sechi Abu. Kwaku Sechi Abu, formerly having the Kwaku 101 show. He's now part of the Asase Radio. Yeah, he works with Asase Radio, and he has a Sunday night show. And he interviewed the former president Jerry Rawlings, recounting how people went through torture and massive maltreatment during his era, especially the coup days, the PNDC era. And he said Kwaku Bakwende lied to the National Reconciliation Commission when they appeared before the commission during the President Kufuor period. And then he says what they told the commission were lies, as they were tortured and being maltreated in prison. He called them, they were assassins. They were charged for treason, trying to cause mayhem and also overthrow his government through coup. He and other people were tortured. Others were even killed. So many people were killed during the days of former President Rawlings or the PNDC era. And Kwakubako, who is also a panel member on Peace FM's Wednesday show, came on Peace FM and Kwame Sefaka asked him about what the issue was. Actually, he said he didn't listen. But recounting what happened, Kwakubako gave serious and sad moments that he went into detention and how he was punished and maltreated, tortured, and how he suffered during his days in prison or detention without trial. And a lot of people who sent messages in were saddened by the account. And we're all looking forward to see Kwakubako's book, his life story, because he's got a lot to tell, his personal life and political and life as a journalist. He's a legend in the industry. He's been in the industry for more than 30 years. As for 9 election and the Ghana Freedom Party, owned by Honorable or Madame Okeadonko. Yes, she's one woman who has stood on her grounds also to make sure that her party stands for what is right, or she's also always in the news and being a strong woman behind her party. And rumors coming up, bearing last minute changes. Frimpong Manso Adakabre, a legal practitioner and an astute journalist who has been multimedia and currently works with the Despite Media Group, and he's also the CEO of the VIP. Yes, our VIP Coaches Company Limited. Now he is in the pole position to become the running mate for the Ghana Freedom Party, or to Madam Okeadonko. Madam Okeadonko will automatically be the presidential candidate. So we are going to see how the Frimpong Manso Adakabre and the Okeadonko ticket is going to be. Yes, Frimpong Manso Adakabre to partner Madam Okeadonko against Professor Jenano Pokwajman and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Yeah, what a pairing. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. Yes, we're looking forward to a perfect and a healthy debate ahead of the elections in 2020. Now let's go to entertainment news, and beef. There's beef in the system. Or Kunana Puntihine in an interview on social media said a boy that he invested in, a woman came to him that a boy that he has invested in came to him to tell him that your boy has introduced my daughter into drugs, cocaine and marijuana. And there have been speculations that Kwabena smokes and a whole lot, and Humphrey Patrick too. There have been rumors of her dating Kwabena, and we know that there have also been rumors that Humphrey Patrick smokes, which she has accepted on the late show. So some bloggers mentioned the name, and Kwabena didn't take it lightly, so he also went to Accra FM on another radio show to clear the air, and also said, Anakwinti has said in other interviews and mentioned his name that he smokes, and when he was his manager, or when he was managing him, anytime he needed the guy to come and work for him to get his share of the money, when he calls him, they said, Kwabena is somewhere smoking and sniffing cocaine and other stuff. So Kwabena says he's going to take the matter to court and also make sure that Anakwinti is brought to book and being warned not to, because anywhere he grants an interview, he spits out his name, which he is not happy with that. Another entertainment stories. Yes, Stonebwoy is making Ghana proud globally. His album Anloga Junction, on the album he featured a lot of international artists like Kerry Hilson and others, so many artists in Jamaica. Yes, and his album is doing well on other social platforms like YouTube and Stream, Bloomberg, and other things. So, and Spotify. Currently, Stonebwoy he's been the first Ghanaian. He's closely hitting over 20 million streams. Yes, this is a very good news for the Ghana music industry. Yes, he spent he spent a lot of time, money, and energy. He invested well into this album, and it's paying off perfectly. So congratulations to Stonebwoy and his team, the Beam Nation president. Beam to the world, Beam Nation. Yeah, so our boy Stonebwoy, who used to be part of the High Grade family. Yes, he used to be part of the High Grade family under the Samini music. Let's go to sports news, and Sheila Ilyasu, the brother of Sheila Al Hassan, he played for Kim Faisal, played for Asante Kotoko, and got the opportunity to play at the 2006 World Cup in Germany. He excelled very well. He got this opportunity when Sami Kufuor was sidelined after our first game, and now after that he nearly signed for Arsenal. Unfortunately, he ended up at Saturn FC in Russia. Yes, Sheila Ilyasu, after his football career, later his career was threatened or disturbed by injuries. Now he's back home, not just in Accra, but back home in Tamale, his hometown, and he has invested hugely. He has invested hugely into farming, maize farming for that matter. And there's some media houses or TV3 visited Sheila Ilyasu's farm, and it's a huge maize farm. He has invested very well, and he's into commercial farming and has employed a lot of people. Yeah, so this is what the former footballer has invested his money in. And Joseph Henrich used to be called Jemichek, former Asante Kotoko captain. He said if football clubs existed in hell, Ghanaian players would have gone there to play, because payment or salaries in our country is bad, and players are willing to go anywhere that they're going to get something little to feed themselves and their family. So if football clubs existed in hell, Ghanaian footballers would have gone there to play. And also in international sport news, Chelsea have officially made are talking to Bayer Leverkusen over their highly rated youngster forward, that is Kai Havertz. It's a very good news for Chelsea fans, because the player is a very good player, talented. He scores goals and also defends and tackles very well. His touches are brilliant. Yes, according to Fabrizio Romano, who is a journalist and also very, very popular. He broke the news on Timo Werner, and also he broke the news on Hakim Ziyech. So this news, according to him, Chelsea have agreed, or Chelsea want to pay 70 million euros upfront, and because of COVID-19, they are cash strapped a little, and after that, they will pay the 20 million or 30 million euros later. International news, yes, tension, and we are sensing a third world war. Yes, because the United States, the South China Sea, there have been numerous fights or claiming of supremacy. China is fighting with Japan. They've lost the case at the international court. They are fighting Vietnam. China is fighting Philippines and India, or on border issues, some on sea and land. And the United States have brought 2 of their warships to those areas, because it seems China is bullying their way through. And also now they are patrolling the place with their war jets, some war jets, and the Chinese are complaining that yes, they are meddling in an issue beyond their territory. Because by it seems the US think if they don't come in, the Chinese are bullying their way through. So this is what's going on the South China Sea. The US have come in with 2 warships, and then some war jets to patrol the place. So we're hoping that Russia doesn't go behind China. It will be another disaster, as it happened in in Yemen and other Arabian countries, in the Assad's country. So let's see what happens. So this is Don Candy TV weekly news updates, brought to you by the Tupac, producers of quality natural hair, natural shea butter, quality and natural groundnut paste, and quality and natural shea butter. Hills Hair Bonnet, producers of quality hair bonnets that process your hair. And also Executor Radio, based in London, Zeno.fm/Executor is ASUKETWA dash radio, RADIO. Another for radio, Zeno.fm, ZENO.fm/ODOFOPA dash radio, RADIO. Please tune in for quality sound and quality programs. Thanks for your viewership. Thank you for your support. This is Don Candy TV. Please subscribe and share and press the notification bell. Thank you.